To finish up last video about getting the current user's location using the geolocation API, I just did another check, which shouldn't happen. If anything goes wrong in getting their location, should go into the exception. So I'm not expecting this, but I just put it there as safety. And all I do now is set a property selected coordinates equal to the double with the coordinates retrieved from the JavaScript. This is just a service that with an interface on this property. And I do this for the next video, the next part, to send these coordinates to the database and do a search query for content in my area, the current user's area. Okay, let's continue with the geolocation and spatial data stuff. What I want to accomplish is, so in last video, we retrieved the current position, the current location, current coordinates of the user. And now I want to query my database for content that is nearby the current user's coordinates. To do that, we can use the Net Topology Suite spatial library. Ideally, we also want to be able to send a radius like X amount of kilometers or X amount of miles back to the database to search within a region, like within a radius around the user's current location. Okay, so let's start by installing the correct NuGet package. So we need a SQL Server Net Topology. Depending on which database you're using, you have different packages. I'll start in my shared layer where my abstract entities are, and I already have an address. I have videos about getting started with SQL Server and MySQL Server and Entity Framework. If you need to, you can find these on my channel. But for now, I already have a few entities. Unfortunately, I already made a coordinates object which just has some string longitude, latitude coming only used to have some coordinates coming from the Google APIs. I'm not going to use these in the video, but I hoped to call reuse this coordinates name, but I can't for now. So let's go to I'm just going to work in this region entity, and we are getting ahead of ourselves. What I want to do is something like then point as a data type coming from net topology, but I haven't installed the NuGet package. I'm just going to call it position for now. I hope to rename it later to coordinates or something. Let's comment this out because it will block our building project builds and stuff and migrations. So where we actually what I actually wanted to do is manage the NuGet package and find net topology. Okay. And now I should be able to use this point. Let's add a README file and some sources. Just gonna quickly do that. Come on. Sweet. Of course, this is not. Just call this shared database for now. Whatever to do. Then let's quickly add some sources here. Oops. And I have some nice sources. So the spatial data from Microsoft documentation, and then a more in-depth one to getting started with the net topology suite GitHub page. Let's just add this in. Feel free to pause the video if you want to access these documents. Next thing we should do is enable this option, use net topology suite on our DbContext. So let's go to an actual DbContext of the pet social, because most of my location sensitive data lives in here. Pet social database, pet social DbContext, and we have like events, it's like meetups and pet parks and shops and services. They're all in certain regions. Let's actually go to the configure services, because we have the add DbContext and the use SQL server. And here in this project, we'll also have to install this net topology suite. This line is confusing me. I think you can also just do this. I think this is the same. I think the previous was an old notation, but let's not focus on that right now. Let's see. Let's see if we can put that here. How many brackets? 1, 2. Oh, I think like this. I hope. Oh, then use net topology suite. Ah, okay. Seem to can access it already. Why? Because the shared project is referenced in the configure services by this add shared database, and in my project's CS Proj, I mean, we include this shared database project. So we can already access the Usenet topology suite, which is sweet. Okay. Next thing will probably be to add a migration to reflect these changes. Let's see, are my databases running? Yes. Going into my terminal, make sure I'm in the pet social folder, and then I am going to add a new migration. Call it I'm just going to call it topology. And let's check out the migration. And we have the position, that's the property we just added. So yeah, there's two tables that we're using, that address or that region class. So it's adding those columns. Note the type is geography. That's a .NET topology data type. Yeah, this point type, right? This, let's see, this point. I actually forgot a property. First of all, should have made it nullable. So I'm going to redo it. I didn't apply it yet. Let's use the remove one command. Forgot I was a bit too quick. I removed it again. Oops. Let's first of all make it nullable because we won't have it everywhere. And then I'm gonna add a radius. I'm also going to keep it nullable for now. I'm actually not a fan of making everything nullable, but yeah, we're extending an existing database with a few columns, so it won't have any data yet. We'll have to fix that. So let's do it again. Add migration. Make sure to always check your migration that it doesn't include unwanted stuff. Sometimes it includes more than you ask. So we've got the geography and then the radius, and that should be good. So we can call the update, use the update command. And then meanwhile, open the Azure Data Studio and Spatial local, connect. And let's take a look at, yep, we seem to have the position and the radius in here. That's nullable, okay, that's okay. So what would be the next step? The next step for me would be to fill these columns with actual coordinates. It seems like just one value, but this can actually contain the longitude and latitude. And then afterwards, we should be able to query our database using a link just to get the distance or contains or within or something like that. So pass along a few coordinates and get all the results where the coordinates of the results are within a radius of, let's say, 5 kilometers and from that current user's position. Let's take a look. I unfortunately already, or fortunately already have collected some coordinates, latitude, longitude, but I'm going to have to transform that into the position column that I just made, and then hopefully, and then if everything goes right, I'll drop this coordinate column, and I will hopefully be able to rename this position to coordinates to make it a bit more clear. So how will I do that? I'm quickly going to use my worker service, just run it locally, which will get all the addresses where the coordinates isn't null, and then just fill up the addresses position column with those coordinates. So I'm over here. I'm just gonna quickly should do it in a separate function. But let's just do it here. Let's call it void convert coordinates to point. I'm going to pass in the Spatial DbContext. Make it let's see. Spatial, come on. Oh. Without underscore addresses. Going to include the, just call it A for now, A dot coordinates. Yeah, so a new line. Dot where, come on. What's happening? Where A dot coordinates ID does not equal null to list async. And then we'll probably want in the end we'll want to do but social dbContext.addresses.update range addresses, guessing. Then not forget the save changes. I don't seem to have a cancellation token. Or cancellation token.none, you can also use that. We have an example. Now, let's see. Let's call this dated addresses that select a probably not doing this in the best way possible, but let's just quickly do that, and then we'll and let's say a.position equals new point. This comes from the topology suite. Let's quickly take a look at the documentation. Is there anything? Just new point. And then here the longitude is first and then the latitude. And the SRID means coordinates within planet Earth or something. I think you can also set this, configure this somewhere. Uh, mm, let's copy it. So this is a new point. And then we want, so the x should be the longitude, a dot coordinates dot longitude, but this is a string, and we probably need something else. Latitude. It's actually a funny way. Constructor, and then the other one. Let's take a look. Double double is what we need. Yeah, let's not waste time on the specification. And we'll need to have a double. I don't think we can simply have to. Let's see. Try parse. We'll write it like this: double try parse longitude. Coordinates should be there because we're doing that. Out of our longitude, we'll do the same for the latitude. And do longitude, latitude. If either fails, we should maybe stop. No, no. And I think that should be enough for our script to convert coordinates to point. Let's give it a go. And my worker, let's see. But social DB service run async, so this is wired up. And let's hope for the best. Nothing else is running. Okay. And of course, we're getting some errors. Actually, I don't know why I added that radius entity type property. I think because this preferred region ID, yeah, the user should be able to save his or her preference. So the current location with a radius. That's why I added that in, but that's not the issue I'm facing. It's probably some nulls or something, some invalid data type. Let's debug it. Let's see what's an address. Coordinates, longitude, latitude. I think it's ignoring the dot or something. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't have the decimal sign for some reason. Which probably makes it go out of range. Yeah, these latitude and longitude values are not what I expected. Apparently it should be like this: longitude, number styles, and equal to for variant. Let's run that again. That looks better, but there seems to be some kind of rounding issue, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever. Yeah. So, and it seems like it finished successfully. Let's take a look at the database. Let's run this again, and then we should see position. Here. There's some hex values, hexadecimal values, or something, some hashes. We'll see. With the position, that's not really readable, but if you do query address.position.toString, it will show you the point at the coordinates. Let's try that. Let's see, apparently you can do toString. Let's see, toString where position is not null. Okay, let's just do it like that, top 1000. And then you'll see point, and then, oh, we are seeing the longitude, latitude, and that should be correct. In Google Maps, you'll see it the other way around. You'll first see the latitude and then the longitude, but I think everything just went fine. Let's comment out this function. I'll need it for production soon as well. And let's just try to use this distance function. Know if it's distance or within or whatever we want to do. So basically would, let's see, we would say for my location or something, current location, new point, let's get a my real location by simply going to the browser, inspect console. Oops. Been trying some stuff. Oops. Yeah, okay. And then we get the location. It's actually not that accurate at the moment because the enable high accuracy isn't on. So it's in my municipality, or how do you pronounce that? But it's not really in my sub municipality, or however you pronounce that. Municipality. Yeah. Longitude. Let's see. Longitude was the first one, and then the latitude. And within planet Earth, the SRID. And let's see how we can query that stuff now. Just gonna call it results. So wait. Put social DbContext. What shall we query? Let's try the pet parks. Parks. Include dot address, and then where p dot address dot position. Let's see what the syntax is. Position dot distance, or within distance, or yeah. Let's try. I only have the distance. Current location. Let's see what's happening. Distance to pool. Okay. Just to order by. Okay. Let's maybe add a where clause. P dot address P dot address dot position. No. And let's just put a breakpoint here so we can inspect the results thing. We got 138 results. We have pet park. Let's see, it's telling me a dog park near me, so that's pretty good. It's in the correct province. It's in the correct municipality. Let's check out the address, and it's yeah, it's actually pretty near me. So we ordered by ascending the distance, so where the distance is the smallest. So it's actually decently accurate. And then the last one should be the one farthest away from me. Let's see. Address. And yeah, that's in a way different part of the country. I think. Yeah. So that seems to be working fine. But what we want to do, if we want to look within a radius, is probably on the current location. That's smaller than, I don't know. Let me double check the let me double check the yeah, the number. I think this is 5 miles, but I'm not sure. And we'd probably want kilometers, not miles, because I'm in Europe. but let's just give it a go. And we only get 4 results. We should see the same one as the nearest one, the municipality. Yeah. And let's take a look at the last. Let's figure out the last one. It's yeah, it's not too far. That could be correct, about 5 kilometers, 5 miles maybe. Seems about right. So this, yeah, it's kind of maybe the same as within. Can do the within. Not sure. Let's see. Not sure if this works with a point. Let's see. Should be something like this. This should work as well. And we get the same 4 results with the correct one as nearest. Okay, so all that's left to do is to make sure we get the current user's location all the way back to where we query the database. So that for me, that would be in the pet social features. I would make a new, yeah, not a new one, but I would extend the get parks query, the request probably to have a, yeah, coordinates and the radius. But I'm gonna end the video right here. Ciao.